Lewan, we start with you.
Yes, sir. I got the Giants upsetting the Packers. Look at the New York Giants. How much juice can you have? How many adrenaline shots can you get? All right, you bench your starting quarterback. You have the creatine Caucasians, both of them gone. Now you got Jameis Winston in a press conference quoting Hamlet. Boys, Hamilton.
Tell him about it.
Hey,
Quoting Hamilton.
you got a guy like that ready to sling the rock. Dan Orlovsky loves interceptions. This guy's not afraid to throw one, all right? Now we got a defensive line that's going to take advantage of a Packers struggling offensive line. I love it.
Will, can you do better than that?
Yeah, so opening statement, I said it, Lions by double digits. I'm doubling down on the bold prediction. 34-17, Lions over Eagles. Guys, there's games that I just see. Earlier in the year, Patriots going out to Buffalo, beating them. Jaguars beating the Chiefs. Coming back that next week, saying the Chiefs are going to beat the Lions when everybody counted them out. Patriots going down to Tampa Bay last week. This pick this weekend, 34-17, Lions over Eagles.
I love it. No one's touching the Lions.
No one's going to touch that one.
Double down.
Yeah, that's child's play. Peter, what we're going to do here is with Dan Campbell calling the offense, we're going to put the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They're going to represent
There we go.
the NFC. If you watched that offense last week, they had a rhythm. They were methodical. They were efficient. They got the most out of all their weapons on offense. And if they're playing like that, granted it was against the Commanders, doubling down against the Eagles, they win by double digits the way that Will says, they are going to be in the
It's his offense. It's his offense. He took it back.
It's always been his offense. Orlovsky, take us home here.
A.J. Brown this week is going to get 7 for $125 touchdown.
Okay.
Everyone overreacted to last week because of the style that the Packers defense plays. They give up the least amount of explosive plays in the NFL. That wasn't a game that was going to be a statistical masterpiece in the pass game eyes. Detroit defensively is going to say, we're going to play one-on-one. And if you throw the ball to the perimeter at a high clip like Philly can in those one-on-one routes with A.J., you'll have success. I think A.J. has a big game.
If he goes 7 for 112, we're leading Get Up on Monday morning with A.J. Brown again. That's the way it's going to be.
And
A.J. Brown again.
And we might be wearing tattoos.
Draw. AJ will be on the show.
That's it.
I love it.
Speaking of A.J. Brown, who is leading off the A block on Get Up in the most important week of the NFL, he's venting about his role in the offense. Yesterday, a video surfaced of Brown appearing with streamer Janky Rondo. What up, Janky Rondo? At one point, the gamer asked Brown if everything was going all right, and he responded, I mean, no. Where have you been? My family's good. Everything else, no. It's a bleep show, end quote. He added, if you got me on fantasy, get rid of me. Yesterday in the locker room, Brown was asked to clarify those comments with Janky Rondo.
In that moment where I'm just talking to my friend, having fun with my friend, I'm not apologizing for that. Like I said, because if you have eyes, you can see that. And so, it's not that I was throwing anybody on the bus. I'm literally trying to laugh through this tough. But I'm trying to make fun of the situation and to try to get through it. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's not about we're not winning or I don't care about winning. All I care about is stats. No. It's been week after week sometimes. We're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over that and you expect to win late in the year and you think you're going to go to it at the end of the year. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And last year, what it was, thank you for the ring, but it's a new season. They adapted. We have to adapt, and we have to continue to, get better and try to find new ways.
Your reaction to all of it?
Yeah, don't apologize. I like the way he's talking to you. Because I agree with him. He should be more of a focal point in the offense. And not because they got to shift everything or put the team in a bad spot. This is a top 5 receiver in the National Football League. I don't care how you look at it. Talent-wise, he is top 5. He is, I think, 51, 53 in receiving this season. And, yeah, you've had success. Yeah, you've won games. But when you play against the really good teams, you're going to need him to be at full strength. This is a guy that was on a Hall of Fame pace for his career, and he's had a down season this year and a little bit of a down one last year, even though they won a Super Bowl. So I don't think he's looking at it in a selfish way of all I care about is my stats. But if we're going to have success, if we're going to repeat, because we understand how hard it is to repeat as a Super Bowl champion, you're going to need me. And I think that you should start using me earlier so that we can get into this rhythm as an offense.
Dan?
I would say this. I love that he said it.
You love it?
I love that he said it because it's the truth.
It is true.
It's the truth. They're not going to beat the Rams, the Seahawks, the Bucks in the playoffs when it's win or go home if the pass game doesn't get elevated on a consistent basis. Because there's been moments. I'll go to the end of the Rams game this year. All of a sudden, the fourth quarter comes, they play A.J. one-on-one. It's like first down, first down. A.J. goes absolutely off. And so I think at the crux of this is this. One, Devontae Smith has become a number 1 on that team this year for the first time ever. Devontae's playing like a top 5 wide receiver. The quarterback combination of Jalen Hurts and Devontae is unquestionably a top 5 quarterback to wide receiver duo. I would imagine as a wide receiver, watching the other guy, I don't care how friendly we are, how cool we are, this and that, the other guy going off and being the receiver that's constantly talked about when it comes to balling, I would imagine a receiver that doesn't feel great. I want to be that guy, right? But I'm watching my counterpart, and I'm not putting this out there as like there's friction between the two receivers. I'm not saying that.
This play here, AJ was the first option.
Well, AJ was the decoy in many ways. Like you're drawing that up to get the defense to stay low on AJ to take your shot to Devontae. Devontae's playing like a top 5 wide receiver. And so this is the telestration. This is that quarters coverage. Jalen pumps AJ because the safety's low. So I'm using that as a distraction or a decoy for the defense. And so AJ's getting the ball thrown to him the same amount. See how that safety drop low? Would he drop as low if that was AJ or Devontae? I don't know. But like A.J. Brown's demanding that attention.
Will, they're 7-2. They've won games in Lambeau Field, in Arrowhead Stadium. They've won games in Tampa in 100-degree weather. Is this much ado about nothing?
Until something happens, there's not really much you can make of it until it goes sideways. You can't tell me that there's not something there. We talked at length this morning about the leadership stuff, the culture, just the outside looking in at the Philadelphia Eagles. But if we go back to the way A.J. handled that interview after him being on Twitch, I thought he said all the right stuff. Like, I've been a teammate of AJ's. I know, like, laughing through laughing through the beep. And he is just venting. I do think that people overreact and make it about a lot of stuff, but you just learn the hard way that people, if you give them anything, they will make something out of it. And it just sucks that they're having to answer week in and week out over sound bites where Sirianni's having to answer about culture stuff and everything else versus how much success that they've had. But you cannot tell me that there's not something there.
I think A.J. Brown's right about a lot of this. And I think there are some issues with the Eagle offense, and there are things that they have to do better to be competing with the Rams and the Seahawks and the Lions and the Buccaneers and the NFC conference that's now loaded. But I cannot believe every week that A.J. Brown gets more attention than Matthew Stafford, than Sam Darnold, than Daniel Jones, than all the MVP
Drake May.
candidates, Jonathan Taylor, Drake May, all these MVP candidates. And A.J. Brown seems to lead the show on a.
Is that us or is that him? Like, are we the ones to blame or is it them?
Column A, column B. It's very easy to look at this situation through a lens of A.J. Brown as being selfish. But if I'm a captain, it's easy to.
What'd you say?
It's easy to look through a lens and say, oh, I can see these words being selfish. However, AJ's telling the truth. We talk about him a lot, but he's talking about a process, not a result. The result is they're getting wins. But the process is if you go into the playoffs with the same type of offense, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. So you need to get AJ in the game. He can vent all he wants. We played with him. We know how AJ is, and personally, I like it. I like my wide receivers to have a little diva in them.
A little saltiness. Have a little saltiness to him.
Yeah.
I'd also say
give me the ball.
I don't see.
Why are you rolling your eyes?
Because I mean, I think he's selfish. I think he's creating diversion.
Dog,
for some of the other
agree with you.
conversations.
No,
that could be covered. Don't tell me when to be serious. All right? I've been serious when I want to be serious. All right? That's number one. Number two, with age, I mean, I just also, like, being honest, I don't understand how people, yes, you want to win, but it is not like some big revelation for a wide receiver, a running back, a lineman to want to contribute in a major way to success. That is what you do this for. You work for this. When I say he's on pace to be a Hall of Fame receiver, I'm not just saying that.
Right.
Like, in his first 6 years, his averages of, yards per game, yards, catch, like, it was more Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, and I believe Calvin Johnson were the only three that were ahead of him. So, yes, I will be frustrated if you're saying, hey, just sit there because we're doing this as a team. Like, I want the team to be well, but I also want to do great myself because that's what I put all this work in for.
See, your tone sounds like you're mad about it, but we're all agreeing with you.
No, he's just serious.
He's just serious.
He's just serious.
He's just serious. I told him to get serious.
Yeah,
I think there's this reality, too, of in Philly, it's a risk-averse head coach that is a little bit traditional with the way that he looks at football. Fundamentals, basics. We're going to be good with the ball. We're not going to give it to the other team. Like, it's not a offensive genius, let's go overly creative, Mike McDaniel, all these cool. So philosophically, it's a risk-averse head coach. Then philosophically and stylistically, it's a risk-averse quarterback. And so there's just not going to be these crazy opportunities to chuck and duck 45 times a game and statistically have these remarkable performances. On tape, I wish I could sit here and give you guys this, well, Jalen's not looking at him. That's not true. Jalen just One-on-one, I'm choosing Devontae because I'm choosing Devontae. AJ still won. I just chose Devontae. There's going to be a game, and I expect it to be this weekend, where he chooses AJ a little bit more on one-on-one, and the stats are greater than they were this past Monday
Adam
night.
mentioned it. I am fascinated. If the Lions do win, and potentially by double digits, as our friend here said, do we start the show Monday morning talking about A.J. Brown?
Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank.
And that's where we're at.